Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight from Roosevelt High School in Johnstown. It's the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs against the Roosevelt Rough Riders, along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. I'm John Beltran, and what we have for you tonight is a drizzle to begin this game. And Brian, that means we could see a lot of running because they're not going to throw the football, I wouldn't think, in these conditions, at least this early.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. And Roosevelt can run the ball. They ran it for 349 yards last week. So they're sure capable of being able to run the ball.
And, Kevin, we know the strength of the Mustangs is that defense. They're going to have to play tonight against a very balanced Roosevelt offense.
Yeah, I think the only time you'll see any passing is when they have to make them honest on run defense. But I don't expect Roosevelt's going to have a great deal of problems with that. But, you know, Coach did say on his interview that the front seven's doing well. The secondary's a little suspect, so let's hope they respond from their 2 losses with a great effort tonight.
The Mustangs will kick it off as the opening kickoff is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Check them out, Equitable Savings. It'll be Brandon Marquez to kick it off. The Mustangs in their road whites and Roosevelt in their black uniforms with the white pants. And this team is explosive in more ways than one. There's no question about it. See who's back deep to receive for Roosevelt. We're on the far end. And it looks like Tucker Peterson is out there, and he's a solid returner. I don't know how many numbers we're going to have tonight in terms of stats. There's a short kick along the sideline, and that ball's going to go out of bounds, and that might have been a better option just to kick it out of bounds if you're Fort Morgan.
Yeah, prevents that run back, that's for sure. We'll see what options they come out with tonight. They also threw for 110 yards last week also, so they're number 1 for a reason.
Yeah, their quarterback and 2 of their receivers are all in the top 10 in 3A football at this point, 2 games into the season.
Well, the Rough Riders under this drizzle will have the ball at their own 40-yard line, and that's not a good sign for the Mustangs. 0-2 going in, and Roosevelt at 2-0, and they have dominated their first 2 opponents. The quarterback is Bronco Hartson, trips to the left out of a shotgun with 1 running back. Lining up along the left hash mark. Hartson awaits a snap. Quick drop. Throws it out to his left. Caught underneath along the left sideline. That's solid yardage across the 45. And Peyton Zakomsky makes the catch. He's got a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 to go at the 42-yard line. Just underway. And hopefully this rain will subside. A massive drop in temperature. There's the snap, the handoff right up the gut. That's a big hole and a 1st down to about the 47. And let's see who got
Doucette.
That handoff. Yeah, Ryan Doucette. And that's a gain of about 5 and a 1st down to the 47. Yeah, for the Mustangs to be competitive here, they got to force some turnovers.
Yeah.
If not, Roosevelt's just going to move that ball with relative ease. Out of the gun. There is the handoff, left side, and no, keeping it is the quarterback Hartson. Along the 30, he's got the sideline to the 20, and he faked out everybody down to the 17. What a play, a gain of 36 as Elvin Yanez made the tackle, but everybody went left, and there was only 1 Mustang in the secondary, and Yanez to make the tackle. Big gain of 36, and they're in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of Fort Morgan. I mean, just like that on the opening drive of the game.
And Fort Morgan has to sell out to try and stop the dives and inside plays, and so that quarterback keeper is a great
Trips
play.
to the right, Hartson to throw, 3-step drop, pumps. Here comes the pressure, rolls out to his right. Plenty of time, throws into the end zone, incomplete. A diving attempt by Tucker Peterson, but it's incomplete, 2nd down and 10. The Mustangs did have some pressure, Brian, but just couldn't get to Hartson, who's really an elusive quarterback.
Yeah, that's for sure. They had it there, but their offensive line did a nice job of blocking once they got back in there, but he was loose out on the right side. He might have been able to tuck it and run.
2nd down and 10 to go for the Mustangs, 17 just underway, 11:08 to go in the opening quarter. And now out of a pistol formation is Hartson, awaits the snap. That time he'll hand it off and up the middle, a hole across the 15 to the 12. That's a gain of about 5. And that's Doucette once again. Well, they'll backtrack the football to about the 13, a gain of 4. Colin Duckworth was in on the play. 3rd down and 6 to go. And with this weather, I don't anticipate too many field goal attempts.
No, the way they're moving the ball right now, I don't think they're going to have to, but we'll see what changes.
3rd down and 6 for the 13. Man in motion to the right. Play action. Pass up the middle is caught by Peterson. Touchdown. Touchdown on a 13-yard slant. A minute and 29 seconds into the game, and the Rough Riders lead the Mustangs on a misty night in Johnstown, 6-0.
And there goes our theory about them not passing in this rain. They had 3 pass plays in that first drive, and were pretty successful on 2 of them.
Now the extra point to be attempted. Let's see if there's any slickness with the ball on the extra point. Perfect snap, and that kick is up, and it is inside the left upright. It's good. 10:31 to go in the opening quarter from Johnstown. It's Roosevelt 7, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. 7-0 Roosevelt on a 65-yard drive with relative ease, Brian.
Yeah, 6 plays. Would have 3 passes, had 1 incomplete. But Hartson throws a nice ball, and that was a quick one to Peterson over the middle.
From 13 yards away. And now the Broncos to kick it off. Looks like Jacob Whitage to kick it off for Roosevelt. Booms that football high and fairly deep. It'll be fielded at the 6-yard line by Charlie Langford, advancing to the left side of the 15, across the 15, and then he's upended at the 20. That's a big-time hit at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will start, as the play was made by Andrew Lara. Want to send a shout-out to my nephew, Andres Pereira in Miami, Florida. He made I think it's his broadcasting debut, doing King's News for Epiphany School as an 8th grader. 8th grader there as a co-anchor. Did a heck of a job. We don't have any Beltrans except myself in the media. And he might, I don't know if he's going to follow in my footsteps. He'll be better than me, certainly. We'll be sending other shout-outs. But Theo John loves you, and congratulations on a great job on the debut of King's News. Out of the pistol formation, Trey Romero will hand it off, and that's going to be a loss. A loss of 2. David Keller got the football, and he was hammered back at the 18-yard line. And Kevin, this has been a concern the first 2 games.
Absolutely. The offensive line did not change very much from the last couple weeks after the play. There's 3 of them downfield coming back to find out what they missed in the play. So they're going to have to figure out a way to get contact and maintain it on someone.
2nd down and 12 for the Mustangs at their own 18-yard line, trailing 7-0 as Roosevelt scored 89 seconds into the game on a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson. Now out of the gun, running back to his left, Romero, 5-step drop. He's a deep up the left side, and that's going to be incomplete. Well over the intended receiver, Kayshawn Johnson, at about the 50-yard line, but he was well defended. And Brian, they're doing the same thing they did last week, where the Mustangs, I don't want to say it's inexplicable, but you're going for the home run when you got plenty of football left.
Yeah, I don't know why they're going so deep. I guess they're trying to maybe see if they can get his speed, but, you know, Trey is just not that experienced yet with that kind of a deep throw.
Yeah, and that was that coverage was outstanding. The receivers are out to the right, Lopez and Johnson, 1 receiver to the left. 3rd down and 12 for the Mustangs at their own 18-yard line. Romero waits a snap. Lopez in motion to the left, and he's got it on the end around looking for a seam, and he's got maybe a yard to the 19. Too much penetration by that Roosevelt defense, taking him down to the ground, and the Mustangs and Chase Redding will have to punt on a 4th down and 11. And we're just over 2.5 minutes into the game. The Mustangs want the clock to roll quickly. If not, it's going to be a blowout in the first half.
Right. Roosevelt had a little bit of a slow start last week, and coaches obviously worked on that. You know, here it is, 3 minutes into the first quarter, and they're going to have the ball back for a second drive.
Trevor Karabench is back deep to receive, and that a heavy rush, a beautiful punt, fair catch is called by Karabench. He's got it at about the 44-yard line. Good field position for Roosevelt. on their second drive of the game, leading by a touchdown. And let's see what the Rough Riders can do after scoring on the opening drive. I mean, not only, Brian, is it going to be difficult for Fort Morgan to score, it's going to be tough to get a first down.
Yeah. Yeah, they, last week they didn't get their, they had their efficient first down when they would get it, but they didn't get any first downs in the drives until the second half. Second drive and the fifth drive, they had a first down within the drive.
First down and 10 with the football resting at the 44-yard line. Out of the shotgun. There is a handoff on the right side for a short gain. Good fake there by Hartson. Xavier Ramirez. A gain of 1. Nice job by the left side of the Mustang defense. Adolfo Hernandez around the football. Second down and 9 to go for Roosevelt at their own 45. Approaching the 8.5-minute mark of the opening quarter. And Roosevelt ranked number 1 in Class 3A, 2-0 in the season. Leads 7-0. 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. The backs are split right next to Hartson out of the gun. Hartson this time will hand it off again. A big hole across the right side and getting loose at the 30. Along the sideline to the 10, to the 5, and that's a touchdown. Xavier Ramirez just went 55 yards. Running it to the right side and just sprinting his way into the end zone. And Roosevelt leads 13-0.
Yeah, that one just kind of went off to the right side and maybe had some contact early, but Mustangs didn't wrap up. And then he took off downfield. No one was going to catch him.
Now the extra point off the hold of Hartson. Perfect snap, and that kick is up. And it is Roosevelt 14, Fort Morgan nothing, with 8:15 to go in the first quarter on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Well, that was a simple 2-play. 56-yard drive, a 55-yard run by Xavier Ramirez. And it didn't look like a fancy play at all, Brian. I think maybe a little bit of a misdirection, but other than that, it was fairly basic, and Roosevelt is just so good.
Yeah, they've got the blocking up front. Not only their line, I think their receivers out there are doing a good job of blocking also.
Well, Charlie Langford will be back to receive with Johnson. And we have not played even 4 minutes, and it's already a 14-0 game. Send more shout-outs here momentarily. That's a booming kickoff, but that's high and short. Johnson has to field it at the 23. Stutter steps to the 25, swings it to the outside, cannot get around a defender. And he's down at the 25, a return of about 2. They'll give him the 26 for a return of 3. Want to also send a shout-out to the entire Hokenettle family. My good friend and brother Knight of Columbus, Lance Hokenettle, the head coach of the 7th grade team. His oldest son, Tony, is an assistant on that team. And 5 sons and a daughter go through Fort Morgan High School. Just an incredible family. I mean, they've been Mustangs for a long time and Mustangs forever. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 26-yard line. Trey Romero will have 2 receivers split each side out of the gun with 1 setback. 2-step drop, looks to his left, pressure coming, throws off his back foot, nearly intercepted at the 35-yard line. Intended for Chase Redding and batted away.
Yeah, he's not looking anybody off. He was going to go to that receiver, and he didn't look off. I was wondering it wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, still a little bit of a mist here. That's why I'm not even keeping the numbers right now, which I normally would do. 2nd down and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Mustangs, trailing 14-0 as Roosevelt has made it look easy. 2 receivers split out to the left. Romero will hand it off up the middle, and David Keller is smashed behind the line of scrimmage. And there is nothing there. Ryan Knutson makes the tackle. A loss of 1, 3rd down and 11. And like I said, forget about scoring in this game. In fact, if Fort Morgan scores, it's not going to be until the second half because the game will have been out of hand. And Roosevelt more than likely would send in their second team.
Yeah. I think one problem the Mustangs have, I think they have a lot of young kids on that front line, a lot of sophomores playing. So
yeah, no, it's just a lack of experience.
Yep.
I mean, there's talent there. They just have a lot of raw talent. Third down and 11 to go for their own 25. Two receivers split each side. Romero's back to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. The pass is going to be incomplete. And the intended receiver was running the other way. And he threw it towards the sideline. And Gabriel Bosworth, hopefully we have the numbers right. And Chase Redding to punt. Chase Redding, Kevin, he's been a bright spot this season.
Yes, like Coach has said, the special teams has been kind of the shining star of Fort Morgan this year.
And there's the punt towards the sideline. Mateo Leal will let that bounce, and it will be down inside the 40, maybe at about the 35 or 33. Check that. That was Trevor Carabench. Trevor Carabench was the returner, but no return. And again, very impressive by Chase Redding.
Yep.
Punt went for 40 yards.
Yeah, I was looking at the stat leaders, and I looked for him in punting yards, but Max Preps froze up at that point, and I wasn't able to ever find out whether he's up there with his yardage, but he's got to be close.
First and 10 for Roosevelt at their own 35-yard line. Pistol formation. Hartson will hand it off on the left side and a short gain. Good defense there by the Mustangs on the carry to Doucette. Gains about a yard or two.
No,
nothing. You're right.
He's even behind the original line. It looks like just a little bit, but not enough for a yard.
The sophomore Noah Aguirre made the tackle. Yeah, you're right. Right at the line of scrimmage. I thought he had plunged for about a yard, but nothing. This time he's in a shotgun. A running back to his left. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Man in motion, 2nd and 10. This will be an end around and a big seam across the left side. Breaking out of a couple of tackles, still on his feet. And a first down. That might be Peterson, and it is Peterson across the 45 to about the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. And this is just a fast football team.
Yeah, the speed, team-wide, the speed is just something that Fort Morgan has not seen. Johnson on that kickoff return tried to get around the edge, and there's no way.
That was a gain of 11 for Tucker Peterson. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders, leading 14-0. 6:15 to go in the opening quarter. Two receivers out to the right. This will be a handoff on the left side, and stutter stepping is Doucette, and he's close to another first down, a gain of about 9. And in the secondary, Samson Ortega made the tackle.
A good thing he held on to him.
Yeah,
he'd have been gone, I think.
Well, without a doubt, 2nd down and 1, and now are they going to give him a first down? No. 2nd and 1 at the 45. They can do anything they want now. 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson, and a 55-yard run by Xavier Ramirez. Those are the two scores for Roosevelt on their first two drives. On 2nd down and 1, out of the pistol formation. There's the give up the middle, and looks like a first down. Tucker Peterson for a gain of about 1. Yeah, the Mustangs graduated so many players. This is learning on the fly. A gain of 1 for Peterson. 1st and 10 at the 44. Yeah, the Mustangs just want to avoid making this a mercy rule game. Two receivers split each side for the 44. Hartson, two-step drop, pumps, heaves it up the right side. Peterson is going to catch the ball at the 10, and he's down at the 2. It looked like it was going to be overthrown. And a tremendous play there by Peterson. He made a great catch, and it's a gain of 41. 41 yards on the pass along the right side. That's some great hands by Peterson. I thought it was clearly overthrown from this angle.
Yeah, that was a really good ball thrown there.
1st and goal at the 3, and the coverage was not bad either. 1st and goal. 5 yards behind center. Pistol formation. Will this be a handoff? A low snap. Now rolling to his right. Lobs it into the end zone. Touchdown. A flag is down. Let's see if that's going to count. We'll see if it counts. Ineligible man downfield. As the ball was caught, so the touchdown is nullified. Ball was caught by Peyton Zikomsky. But now it'll be 1st and goal at the 8, and no big deal there, Kevin. They'll probably just operate with more room and maybe open up the playbook even more.
Yeah, I was thinking it's been a really clean game, no penalties at all, and then that comes up. And the old linemen, they like to get downfield and block people, so they'll learn.
1st and goal at the 8. 2 receivers split out to the left. 2 running backs. One next to the quarterback. There's the handoff on the right side. Doucette spins inside the 5 to about the 3 for a gain of 5, and he's got some really shifty moves. Does Ryan Doucette for the Mustangs along the far side. Made the tackle. Duckworth was in there. 2nd down and goal after the gain of 5. Ramirez is checking out of the game. Again, you just want to stay healthy. There's no doubt that's the goal right now.
Yeah, that's you want to come out of this healthy, as not what happened last week. So
still have a slight missed. Hasn't stopped completely. 2nd down and goal for the 3. Roosevelt already up 14-0. Out of the gun. Man in motion to the left, and the ball goes through Hartson. He picks it up, rolls out to his right, and then he's taken down at the 12. Excellent open field tackle and a loss of 9.
Langford.
And, that is Charlie Langford with a tremendous play, and that will go as a sack. That goes as a sack, and let's see if the Mustangs can hold Roosevelt to a field goal attempt on a 3rd down and goal from the 12. We're down to 3.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. And Roosevelt with a 2-touchdown lead.
So the moisture played a little bit in that possession.
Yeah, definitely. And it might play a role on this play. On 3rd and goal for the 12. And we have a timeout called by head coach Lane Wassinger. With 3:06 to go in the opening quarter. Once again, Roosevelt getting a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson, and a 55-yard dash into the end zone from Xavier Ramirez.
Yeah, if Fort Morgan can find a way to hold them to no points on this drive, that would be a big positive for them after Roosevelt gets down to the 3-yard line on like a 45-yard pass?
Something like that, yeah.
41-yarder.
41-yarder.
41-yarder. Well, look for a fade here. I think they might throw a fade, especially the Mustangs have one-on-one coverage. Because Tucker Peterson's a big kid. You just throw it up to him. And what he showed earlier on this drive, he can make the adjustment and make the catch. 3rd and goal from the 12. Trips to the left. One receiver to the right. Hartson awaiting the snap. Will hand it off to Doucette to the 5. Touchdown. He went behind his right guard and broke out of a tackle and scored. The Mustangs were playing pass. It's a 12-yard touchdown run for Ryan Doucette, and the Rough Riders lead 20-0.
Yeah, he just found that opening out there on that right side, and he just turned the jets on and ran it in.
It almost looked like all the linebackers had blitzed, like they were trying to put pressure on him, and he got through that pressure, and there was no one there to stop him.
And the Jacob Wehage extra point is good. 3 minutes even to go in the opening quarter. From a misty Johnstown, it's Roosevelt 21, Fort Morgan nothing on V106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Roosevelt has had the football 3 times, and they have scored 3 touchdowns. The latest on a 3rd and goal from the 12. 12-yard touchdown run from Ryan Doucette, and Wehage to kick it off. Back deep to receiver, Johnson and Langford for Fort Morgan. Now, what a football team Roosevelt has. This one is boom. Down the right side, fielded by Langford on the hop at the 4. To his left to the 10. Tries to maneuver his way to the 20. And then he fumbles, and Roosevelt's got it right there. He was stripped and recovered by Roosevelt at the 20-yard line. Recovered by Andrew Mosh, a senior. And the Rough Riders are in the red zone again off the first turnover of the game.
Langford made a really good move, made that first guy miss, and headed up the field, and then just must have taken a hit.
Yeah, the ball was slightly exposed. First and 10 for Roosevelt at the Mustang 20-yard line. They'll call it the 19. Got the snap. And there's the reverse to Peterson. Room to the 15, down the middle to the 10. He's got a first and goal at the 5. Wow, running that little reverse, it worked out very nicely. Langford was in on the play.
I think when he looks at the film of that play, he'll be sorry that he didn't cut it outside because there was no defenders to the outside and he had a blocker that was going to set the edge for him.
Colin Duckworth also in on the hit. Brian, this is a clinic.
Yeah, they look good. They really look good. This will be like third year in a row that they've been really good.
First and goal at the 5, pistol formation. Ramirez is the lone setback. Hartson has the snap, hands off to Ramirez, and he cannot break out of the tackle from, I believe that's Velasquez at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, Christian Velasquez.
No gain.
Yeah, last year Roosevelt had a team that, a lot of people thought were going to go all the way and win it, and so this year they probably feel they have some unfinished business. And
well, like Brian said, 2 years ago as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They lost in the state championship game to one of the schools out west. Second down and goal from the 5, leading 21-0. A minute 36 to go. Back to throw is Hartson, plenty of protection. Now throws off his back foot, caught at the 4, and then down at the 3-yard line. A big hit and well defended as the catch was made by Mateo Leal. 2 Mustangs were there, third down and goal for the 3. And now my rosters are basically toilet paper. Yeah, I usually keep stats, but you can't do it in this weather.
Nope. Unless you have a grease pencil.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. It's
in grease paper.
Right.
Exactly. The equipment is covered, which is good. Third and goal just inside the 3. 5 yards behind center's Hartson. Ramirez to his right. Hartson to hand it off to Ramirez around the left side. Breaks out of a tackle towards the pylon. He dives and scores. It's a touchdown for Ramirez. His second of the game. This one from 3 yards out. And it's the third rushing touchdown for Roosevelt. They lead 27-0.
Yeah, he got outside there and then put a stiff arm on that defensive back, and it's close enough. He fell in for that touchdown.
Wehash to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Bronco Hartson. Snap is there, the hold, the kick is good. 47 seconds to go, first quarter, Roosevelt 28. Fort Morgan nothing on P106. And the Eastern Plains.
Threw a flag on,
well, we'll take the break on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Well, that's the shortest drive so far for Roosevelt, just a 19-yard drive. And a 3-yard run by Xavier Ramirez. And they're in the lead 28-0. I mean, we anticipated a one-sided game. I just didn't think it would be this one-sided this early.
No, I didn't either. The Mustangs are just, they can't do anything offensively. And defensively, they're doing what they can, but that offense is a juggernaut. They had to throw the flag, but apparently there was no, because it looked like they're kicking from the 40, so.
Yeah, it looks like the flag was picked up. Yeah, this should be a running clock by the second half the way it's going. I don't think you can have a running clock in the first half, only in the second half. 28-0. That ball is booted high and pretty deep and fielded by Langford at the 6. Running straight to the 10. Jitterbugging to the 15. Breaks out of it to the 20. Still on his feet, and he backs his way to the 26-yard line. Protecting and cradling that football was Charlie Langford. But the Mustangs are on a 28-point hole with 38 seconds to go in the first quarter and have not picked up a first down yet.
Nope. Well, it took them till almost the middle of the third quarter last week against Brush to get that initial first down.
Yeah, because they were in the red zone when they scored that first touchdown against Rush. First and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Well, hopefully this is the toughest opponent of the season as far as Fort Morgan is concerned. Romero will be in the shotgun, naked backfield. On first and 10 from the 26, Aguirre resets. Romero's going to roll back and then throw it deep over the middle. Pass is going to be broken up near midfield, intended for Johnson, and Hartson knocks it away. Check it. That was knocked away by Karabench at the last second. It hung a little bit too long as he heaved it right down the middle of the field, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was timed perfectly, that defensive play. Any sooner and it would have been pass interference.
I think the rain has picked up.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10 for the 26-yard line. Roosevelt leads 28-0. 3 touchdown runs, 2 by Ramirez, 1 by Doucette, and a touchdown pass to Tucker Peterson. Aguirre resets 4 yards behind center. Romero jitterbugs his way for about a yard to the 27. And that's it. Off to the right side was Trey Romero. And that is the end of the opening quarter with a score. Roosevelt 28, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the second quarter along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. I'm Sean Beltran with the Mustangs trail the Roosevelt Rough Riders, excuse me, under these misty conditions. It's cracking up my own voice, 28-0. And the Mustangs have it 3rd and 9 at their own 26-yard line. We're set up outside with 2 other media outlets, and we're all absorbing what is a steady rain. Trips to the left. Trey Romero waits the snap, has the football, rolls to his left, and that pass is going to be tipped, and it's nearly intercepted. It was behind Angel Lopez at the 37-yard line. The Mustangs will have to punt.
I think once they get a little experience, Trey's got a nice ball there. It's just the experience that he's lacking right now. So,
well, and in these conditions, it's just so tough, so difficult. Tucker Peterson back deep to receive at his own 43. And how many great punts can Chase Redding get off? At some point, it's going to be tough for him. He gets that one up, and that is high, and that's got some carry to it. Inside the 45, takes a huge Fort Morgan roll. That's out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 41 yards with a roll.
Another huge punt.
Yeah, Chase Redding is having an all-state type of season from that position.
yep, yeah, he's looking real good.
Mark it back at the 32, 42-yard punt. But this is possession number 5 for Roosevelt, leading Fort Morgan 28-0. Again, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson. 55-yard run by Xavier Ramirez. Then a 12-yard run by Ryan Doucette. And a 3-yard run by Ramirez for the 4th touchdown. Out of the shotgun from the 32, 1st and 10. Man in motion, resetting to the left. Hartson back to throw, looks deep up the right side, and that ball is going to be broken up. Oh man, incomplete, broken up by Yanez at about the 25. Receiver was out there. Who's out there for Roosevelt? Was Hartson the receiver? No? Oh no. Looks like an 8 threw it to a 6. They almost
Schmitz, Bowie Schmitz.
Bowie Schmitz, a senior. 2nd down and 10, but that ball was well thrown. Maybe a little bit underthrown, which is why the Mustang defender in Yanez got a hand on it. We'll check that. I wonder if that's Nate Dahl.
Nate Dahl, I believe.
Handoff up the middle. That's Hartson breaking free to the secondary, to the 30, to the 20. He took it himself, and the Mustangs were faked out defensively, and he's gone. 67 yards for Bronco Hartson on the keeper, as the Mustangs could not make the play. It was a keeper by Hartson, and 22 seconds into the second quarter, Roosevelt leads 34-0.
That's the advantage of having a really athletic quarterback that can run, because you have that extra blocker and everybody's responsible for everybody, and then they forget to assign someone on him.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Wehaj. Will he go 5 for 5? That's a line drive, but that is right down the middle. 11:38 to go, second quarter. Roosevelt 35, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Wow. 35-0 Roosevelt, 22 seconds into the second quarter. A 67-yard keeper by Bronco Hartson. The Mustangs got faked out, and that's the second time Hartson's done that. The first time nearly went for 6. And that one did, and Hartson now has a touchdown pass and a touchdown run And not only are they fast, not only are they strong, but they're also deceptive.
Yeah. They have it all. They've got the whole package here on offense.
There's the kick by Wehash, and it's going to be fielded at about the 20-yard line on the far side and across the 20 to about the 32-33.
Number 10, Andrew
See who the return man was.
Langford again.
Yep. Charlie's been doing a lot of that in this game.
They've been kicking away from
Johnson.
Yeah.
Ball is spotted on the 33.
At the 33, a return of about 15 yards. Trey Romero remains as the quarterback as long as he's healthy. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Shotgun formation. Romero, play action, rolls out to his left, throws, and that pass is incomplete. Johnson was there at the 46. Might have been a little bit thrown behind him.
Second down, Mustangs.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was behind him or went through his hands. It was
Yeah,
hard
it
to
was
tell
close.
from here, but
Yeah, he adjusted to it, but then it just went right through his hands.
yeah.
Izane Palacio was in on the coverage. I don't remember the last time the Mustangs were blown out this badly in any game. I mean, they're going to be down by maybe 6 or 7 touchdowns by halftime. Second down and 10 at the 33, and the conditions are miserable. Let's check out the temperature. It might be in the 50s by now, at least it feels like it. Second and 10, Romero 4 yards behind center, has the football, and he will keep it, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. That's going to go as a sack and substantial loss of yardage, maybe 7 or 8 yards, 53 degrees in Johnstown. And it's back to the 28, 27, loss of 6.
That's only 50 degrees colder than it was yesterday, or was it?
Yeah, it was 100
Tuesday?
degrees at first pitch for a softball game I did between Brush and Strasburg on our sister station, 1010 KSIR, one of our sister stations. Third down and 16 for the 27-yard line. Got to get to the 43. Two receivers split out to the left side, one to the right. Romero's going to roll out to his left. Pressure coming, throws off his back foot, intercepted by Peterson. Along the sideline to the 30. Peterson still on his feet to the 20. Peterson is gone. It's a touchdown, and that's going to go for about, we'll call it 35 yards on the touchdown from Peterson. The interception return, he's got an offensive and defensive touchdown, and they are going to a running clock in the opening half as Roosevelt leads 41-0. Second turnover by Fort Morgan.
Wow.
And that's 3 weeks in a row with a pick 6 for Fort Morgan quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And no, they're not stopping the clock. It's still going, even though the officials are respotting the ball. So I guess you can have a running clock in the first half. Well, this will be a quick game. A real quick game. Hart's in the hold. Wehash to kick. Snap is there. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 9:45 to go, second quarter, under a running clock. The score, Roosevelt 42, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Unofficially, a 35-yard interception return from Tucker Peterson along the right sideline. 42-0 Roosevelt under a running clock over the Fort Morgan Mustangs, and even Fort Morgan's got to be stunned here, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't think any of the coaches saw this coming. We're just completely ineffectual on offense. And then the big mistake, making the clock run probably 3-4 minutes earlier than it would have.
And that ball's going to roll and picked up near the 5-yard line and running across the right side to about the 20. Let's see if that's Langford again. He's got a nice seam.
Yeah, that's a great effort by Langford there.
Yeah, because he was really buried back there inside the 10. But he's able to gain about 15 yards in the return under a running clock with 7:58 to go in the second quarter. Roosevelt with 4 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, and a pick 6 have a 42-0 lead. It'll be at the 27. Nice return by Langford. He was really in trouble back there.
Special teams has been a very bright spot for the Mustangs this year.
Looking over towards the sideline on 1st and 10 from the 27. And they're sticking to their pistol formation. Trey Romero will keep it himself, run to the left, and he's going to take a loss. Just stutter stepping, nowhere to go. And the loss is going to be about 3 or 4 yards.
Number 0, Andrew Lara.
As Andrew Lara makes the tackle.
On the play.
Second down and 14, and this is what happens when you graduate 18 starters. Not a lot of depth for them. Depth was a concern a year ago.
Right.
When they won the 3A state championship.
And they stayed healthy and overcame adversity. And so far this year, they haven't had an opportunity to, or found a way to overcome any adversity.
Romero overthrows his target, Lopez, along the sideline at about the 30-yard line. Incomplete. 3rd down and 13.
3rd down, Mustangs.
Yeah, this football game might take an hour and a half, and that's it. Well, the good news is that it seems to, it's still misting, but maybe it's the same as it was when we got here.
Maybe we're just at that point where we can't get any wetter.
Probably. 6 minutes to go under a running clock. Roosevelt 42, Fort Morgan nothing. Only in the second quarter. 3rd down and 13 for the Mustangs at their own 23-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Romero 4 yards behind center. Play action. He throws, and that is incomplete towards the sideline. Intended for Johnson at about the 36-yard line. It is 4th down, and the Mustangs will have to punt again.
Yeah, he's off on his passes, but it'll come.
Yeah, I think the big thing is they need to work on his footwork because he's throwing off of his back leg and off balance. He's not disciplined as a quarterback would be, and maybe a couple years he'll have that.
Another nice punt by Redding, fielded by Peterson, and he drops the ball, and then he pounces on it at about the 40. Mustangs were nearly there to recover the fumble, but Peterson gets right back on it. Let's see if Hartson's going to still quarterback. They might go with a new quarterback. No, Hartson is going to come out. Well, you figure in the 3rd quarter they'll come out with a new quarterback. There's no reason to get this guy injured. He just went 67 yards on a keeper 2 scores ago because the last score was the pick 6.
Although I remember a couple years ago when the two McBride boys were playing for us, and we would running clock people so early that the worry was that the varsity wasn't getting enough reps.
That was in the weaker Colorado 7 League. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Out of the gun, there's the handoff on the right side, and hit at the line of scrimmage is Xavier Ramirez, who's got 2 touchdowns in the game, as Dahl and Oscar Ramirez in to make the play. 2nd down and 10 for Roosevelt, approaching the 4-minute mark of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, the defensive front, that's been a strong point for him, and so far tonight has been fairly decent.
Out of the pistol, 2nd and 10 for the 39-yard line. Hartson will hand it off to Ramirez. He's got a seam across the left side to the 50. Now along the sideline to the 40. Ramirez still going at the 30. He gets a block and he's pushed out of bounds. But another big gain. We'll check the yardage once they spot the football. But he got by the first wave of Mustangs and is fairly deep into Mustang territory at the 25. It's a gain of 36 yards for Ramirez. He scored in a 55-yarder, so he's already over 100 yards, and now the rain picks up again. Now it's raining as hard as it has the entire game.
He does a nice job picking these holes. He just doesn't run up the back of somebody. He has his head up and finds these holes.
1st and 10 for the 25 of the Mustangs. 3 minutes to go under a running clock in the 2nd quarter, leading 42-0. This is Hartson keeping the football, and he's down after maybe a gain of 1. The Mustangs were not fooled that time. Do we have a serious injury? It looks like, or are we okay there? Because one Mustang was motioning to get somebody in there. Oh, we got a Mustang limping on the field, or off the field, I should say. It'll be 2nd down and 8 to go at the 25. Should be the 23. I believe they have that right on the board. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They've readjusted. 2nd and 8 at the 23. Hopefully Roosevelt will not use a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. I'm sure they want to get back into the end zone. Leading by 6 touchdowns. Shotgun with Ramirez to Hartson's right. Hartson will hand it off on the counter to Ramirez. A stiff arm, and then he's tackled after a short gain. That's a great play, I believe, by Noah Aguirre. And the yardage is minimal. 3rd down and 5. After the gain of 3, that ball's at the 20.
Yeah, he was the last line of defense there. If he wouldn't have pulled him down, he'd have been in the end zone.
3rd and 5 at the 20, 90 seconds to go. In the opening half, Roosevelt 42, Fort Morgan nothing. Awaiting the snap as Bronco Hartson has it. Back to throw, looks over the middle, wide open, the pass is caught, touchdown. Touchdown for Tucker Peterson. He has a 13-yard touchdown catch, that one from 20 yards away. And Roosevelt leads 48-0. 2nd touchdown pass of the game from Hartson to Peterson, and the extra point will essentially end the opening half.
Yeah, wide open coming across the middle from the right side. Hartson found him.
And the extra point is up. The line drive is good. Unless Fort Morgan takes a timeout, that'll do it. We'll go into the halftime break. It is Roosevelt 49, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. Let's head to the 3rd quarter. It is 49-0 Roosevelt. Once again, a recap, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson. Xavier Ramirez with a 55-yard scoring run. Ryan Doucette from 12 yards out. Ramirez from 3 yards away. Bronco Hartson then went 67 yards for a touchdown. 35-yard pick 6 from Tucker Peterson. And then Peterson a 20-yard touchdown catch. So he's got 3 touchdowns in the game. And Roosevelt will kick it off. This will all be under a running clock. So we should be done in the next half hour. And the rain continues to fall. It has not stopped, and it is a sweeping rain. It's almost going a little bit sideways.
Yeah, little breeze out of the southeast.
So the Rough Riders to kick it off. Low line drive. Johnson fields it at the 10, slips, drops the ball, picks it up, gets it at the 15, runs to his right, and he's tackled at about the 12. And, well, I think we've lost.
Did we lose power?
Tackle number 10.
Well,
Pass.
we lost.
Ball spotted on the 12.
All right, we'll keep it going like this. Let's see, I believe. We should be with you here. As the Mustangs picked up a yard, we did have an issue with the equipment. 2nd down and 9 to go. At the 14-yard line, Romero will run to his left. Romero's tackled from behind.
Tackle number 42, Evan Klein.
Third down at about 8 to go. Yep, so we are with you live. John Beltran just taking over here. We did have an issue with the equipment, so now I have a different connection, but we're still with you. The rain is intensified, and the ball is loose, and Roosevelt's got it, and there's a late flag down. Hopefully they won't start the clock here, but looked like there was a miss snap.
Ball starts, Mustang.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we're taking over the broadcast right here. We're fine. The equipment is just, we're trying to protect it as much as possible, and in this weather, getting more and more difficult. Well, no, I guess maybe there was no play there. Nonetheless, it's 3rd and 13. It's a no fumble. Romero to throw deep up the left side, and that pass is going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Roosevelt. 3rd turnover of the game. And that's Isaiah Palacios with a pickoff.
Roosevelt uprighter, first down.
Isaiah Palacios with a pickoff. And well, Ron, I don't think Fort Morgan has got positive yardage in this game, but I mean Roosevelt there's no let up in this team.
No, yeah, you're correct. It's they're just, you see why they're number one. They just hit on all facets of the game. They're just no let up on them whatsoever. Yeah, and I'm sure the Mustangs don't have any positive yardage here at all tonight.
There we go. 1st and 10 for Roosevelt at the Fort Morgan 39-yard line. Hartson still the quarterback, and then he loses the ball and falls on it at the 44. Kevin, you surprised they're still going with Hartson here at quarterback?
I'd say give him one more series, and then I'd really be surprised if he played the second series.
Yeah, because now you're risking injury.
And 15.
So it'll be 2nd down at about 15 to go. At the 44, I've shut everything off there just so it's going to be safer that way. Under a driving rainstorm. There's the give on the left side for very little yardage. Maybe a yard. And that's another running back in there. That's Luke Vigil with a carry. Well, now the wind is picking up. Whew. This is really intense right now. 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 49-0 Roosevelt, and the rain is just intensifying. More and more. 3rd and 15 for the Mustang 44. Hartson awaits the snap. Hartson throws a shovel pass along the left side. There, the flag is down, and so is the receiver at the 34. He just slipped, but that's going to be against Roosevelt.
Jaden Noor.
That was Jaden Noor, the catch for Roosevelt. And it is a hold. Well, we got the most important part of the game in for the three of us. That's the first half, because that's where all the scoring took place. I don't know how much scoring we'll have here in the second half, because we're down to 6:15 to go. And the crowd is starting to clear, at least on our end. Third down and 15 to go for the 47. And Roosevelt is now on their own side of the field. Should be like 3rd and 25. There you go. And there's the handoff on the left side, and the Mustangs make the play. Vigil goes down. And an excellent play on the right side.
Christian Velasquez is in there.
That's Velasquez in on the hit. It's actually a loss of 2. 4th and about 27. The Rough Riders will punt. That's Peterson, the punt. Perfect snap, no rush. Line drive towards the sideline. It takes a Roosevelt roll out of bounds at the 22. That's where Fort Morgan will have the football under 5 minutes to go in the third, running clock, and Roosevelt leads 49-0. Well, we've only got about 16 or 17 minutes of football left here. I think everybody just wants to get out of here. The conditions are miserable. It's cold, it's windy, and it's rainy. First and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 21-yard line. Romero out of the pistol formation, will keep the football, and he's got maybe a yard to the 22. That's about it, running to his left. Second down and 9.
Tackle number 25, Peyton Tecumseh.
Yeah, we won't even take a break here in between quarters. We'll just keep it here.
And 9 Mustangs.
Second down and 9 to go for the 22-yard line. We didn't think we'd get rain till later, but
Yeah, I didn't
it's pretty bad right now. Really rough right now. Second down and 9 for the 22. 3:40 to go in the third. Roosevelt 49, Fort Morgan nothing. And there's the gift to Keller, and he's got a couple of yards. That's one of the bigger offensive plays, believe it or not, for Fort Morgan. A gain of about 2. Third and 7. Oh, let's see. Oh, is that Samson Ortega?
They had the, yeah, it looks like Samson Ortega, but he had fumbled it, and then they got back on it out there about the 23, 24.
There you go. Wow. Third down and 7 to go for the 24. I mean, you have 3 conditions: rain, wind, and temperature now. Woo! Yeah, we are outdoors. Romero rolls out to his left, pressure backside, throws in a run, and that pass is going to be broken up. Broken up along the sideline at the 31. Mustangs will punt again.
Chase will have a hard time punting into the wind now that it's picked up and it's really blowing in his face.
Everything is blowing everywhere, it seems. I mean, this is rough to do anything in. All right, Redding the punt, standing at his own 8-yard line. We're down to 2:15 to go, third quarter. Low snap, a heavy rush. He gets it off. It's off the side of his foot, out of bounds. And that punt will go for maybe about 7 or 8 yards.
31.
Yep, and the line of scrimmage was the 25. So it goes, let's see, an 8-yard punt. Nope, you're right, Brian. Okay, 32, 7-yard punt. I'm wearing a glove on my left hand, and my left hand is starting to shiver.
It is not nice out here.
This is really rough. We just got to get back into the vehicles. I'm surprised there's small children out here. Wow, because this is dangerous. Especially up here in the stands. I guess they're having fun. We're not having fun anymore. First and 10. Roosevelt to the Fort Morgan 31-yard line. Up 49-0. Starting quarterback Hartson is still out there. Backs are in an eye. There's the handoff to Behill. Across the right side for about a yard to the 30. One more play in the third quarter. And that'll be it.
Still 53 degrees.
Wow. It feels like it's 33, Brian.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it. It is cold out here.
Yep.
Of course, it's probably not as cold as we think it is when we've been used to 100-degree temperatures, so.
No, you're right. So,
All relative. All relative.
Yep. Second down, there's the handoff to Behill left side. No gain. Mustangs there to make the play. That's Velasquez and Adolfo Hernandez. That should be the end of the third quarter.
3rd and 9. Roughneck.
Down to 15 seconds to go. Yeah, we can unplug anything we need to. We'll keep it right here. It's 49-0.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, you're up at
Mustangs trail Roosevelt.
Mustangs 0.
49-0. I'm just wearing the headset now just to keep my ears warm, Kevin.
I agree with you. I'm not going to change anything because it's only going to get worse.
No, exactly. I mean, hopefully we can get that our extension cord undone, because that will get us out of here earlier.
We had a couple boys that looked like they're about 3 years old just walking up and down the stairs having a great time. Of course, they're in their coveralls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, 3rd and 10 at the 30. When we start here, the 4th quarter. 49-0 Roosevelt, and the weather has only gotten worse. Not even easy to see the action with all the rain in front of you, especially wearing any glasses. All right, new quarterback for Roosevelt. For the Mustang 30, 3rd and 10. Here's the give to Hill on the right side. Breaks out of a tackle, but not a second. And he's down after a gain of maybe 1.
Number 31, Roosevelt carry.
That'll be 4th down. Yeah, all the other stuff on this unplug, and then
4th down, Roughneck.
I'm just keeping the headset on for now. Yeah, we'll keep the headsets on just to keep warm. 4th and 10 at the 29. Roosevelt will go for it. There was movement there. That's a dead ball.
Flag on the play. False start, Roughneck.
That's a false start. Yeah, we are literally wrapping our stuff up here to leave as quickly as possible as soon as this game is over. We've got under 11 minutes to go. The conditions are abominable. They are abominable.
Ball will be slotted on the 33-yard line, 4th and 10, Roughneck.
4th and 15 for Roosevelt at the Fort Morgan 33. Their backup quarterback is under center. There's a give and a big hole, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. And Fort Morgan recovers the fumble anyway. The Mustangs will have it now with about 10 to 15 to go in the game. And I tell you what, we might even take this post-game show to the parking lot.
After the play, the ball will be slotted on the 25-yard line. Touchdown.
This is something else. This is really something else. Woo! 9:53 to go. Mustangs have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Trey Romero awaiting the snap. Has the football, looks to throw, out to his right. The pass is incomplete. Along the far sideline. It is 2nd down and 10 to go. At the 25. Yeah, it looks like, gentlemen, it looks like KFKA has even left. Yeah, they were doing the game, but it's just too rough. This is not ideal for anything. 2nd down and 10 at the 25. 9 minutes to go. High snap. Romero's going to hand it off at the middle. That's Ortega, who's got about 2 or 3 yards to about the 27 or 28. It'll be 3rd down.
14, Lucas Salvatore.
Lucas Salvatore makes the tackle.
3rd down, Mustang.
They'll give him a yard. 3rd down and 9 for the 26. 3rd and 9. The Mustangs just looking to just finish this game. That's all we need. Finish the game. And we will literally take this post-game show to the parking lot. Romero with 8:20 to go in the game. On 3rd and 9, play action, looking to throw deep up the middle. The pass is caught. Well, there's a play for the Mustangs, and it's a gain of about 28 yards. We'll call it 28 yards to the 46. Gabriel Bosworth, according to the roster, makes the catch. How about that? By far the biggest play for the Mustangs in the game. And that was a slant. 1st and 10 at the 46 on a 3rd and long. Well, maybe Fort Morgan can get into the end zone, but they still got a long way to go. And the wind and the rain are not letting up at all. At the 46-yard line. Romero is going to hand it off on the right side to Ortega. Flag is down, and he's going to be thrown for a loss.
Tackle number 30, Zach Temple, flag in play.
And let's see what the flag is about. But it was thrown immediately, almost like an illegal formation. Well, at least the Mustangs have completed a nice lengthy pass in this game, but that's against Fort Morgan. Wow, they're going way back. Was that a hold that quick?
Going to get the Rough Riders.
Woo, they're going way back there. Almost like a chop block or something.
Fort Morgan.
Good call.
Yeah, because look at it. It's like, that's almost...
It was a chop block.
I mean, that's 1st at about 30 now, it seems. At their own 36-yard line. Not quite, but it's 1st and 24 maybe. Trip to the left. Romero's going to hand it off, and that's a short gain, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if even that for Ortega. Yeah, let's just... We have 6 minutes to go, might as well do that.
Evan Klein.
No way we get out of here.
3rd and very long for the Mustangs.
I don't care if my ears get wet at this point. I don't care what gets wet. Just not more equipment. Luckily, we have our device here that is keeping us on air. It's way too much stuff getting wet. 5:48 to go in the game. 2nd down, and they're calling it 28 from the 36. Romero pumps, looks to throw. Deep along the right side. It's incomplete. Johnson was well defended at the 35.
Pass is incomplete. Brings up 4th down for the Mustangs.
And is it 4th down? I thought it'd be 3rd. Let's see. Yeah, it's 3rd down. According to the board, even though the PA said 4th down. We've got 5 minutes to go in the game. Roosevelt 49, Fort Morgan nothing. On 3rd and 28. And the ball goes through the hands of Romero. The ball is loose. It's picked up by a Mustang. And that's Ortega who runs out of bounds. That's another big loss of yardage. And Redding will have to punt.
By number 22, Chase Temple. 4th down Mustangs.
So Redding will punt again. And under a driving amount of rain, we will wrap this thing up as quickly as we can. And thanks to Brian and Kevin, they have cleaned up everything. Brian drove one of the buses here. How many buses we drove out here, Brian?
Oh, we brought 3. It brought cheerleaders up too.
Wow. Okay. Woo. Plenty busy. Perfect snap, and the ball is dropped by Redding, and he's going to be taken down. Looks like inside the 15 or the 10 or something. Roosevelt might be able to get back into the end zone. They'll have plenty of time. Deep in Fort Morgan territory. Yeah, they're going to be able to get into the end zone. And if they score with about a minute to go, this game will be over.
Interrupt volunteers, it's time to get ready to go meet for your cleanup. Behind the seating section at the end of the
Wow.
game.
I don't remember conditions this bad.
Behind the seating section
I mean,
at the end of the game.
No, not this early in the year. 1st and 10 at the 15. They got 15 yards to go.
Keith Hartford's not in there.
We've got the backups in there for Roosevelt. And there's the give on the left side, and the Mustang defense there to make the play. Now Roosevelt, I mean, hopefully they won't want to get in so badly that they think about stopping the clock. I mean, that's the last thing we want. We'll do the post game. I'll do it on my own for the parking lot. Kevin and I will do it in the truck. How about that, Kevin? We'll do it in the truck. We will do it in the truck. We'll stay on air and we'll recap this game as we walk to the parking lot, something that we have never done, but it is unbearable here. 2nd down and 12 from the 15-yard line after the loss. There's the handoff on the left side. Stutter stepping along the sideline and maybe getting a yard. Again, we really can't even see the players just on the other side. 3rd down, we'll see what they call it. They did gain some yardage. Looks like about a 3rd and 8. Hard to see with that mark. Well, no, they misspotted at 3rd and 10. Yeah, they had that marker advanced a little bit further.
3rd and 10,
3rd and 10. Now it's back at the 15. It was at the 17 earlier. 2 minutes to go in the game. 49-0 Roosevelt. Under center. The back's in an eye. And rolling out to his right. The throw into the end zone. That is going to be caught? No, broken up very nicely by Dahl. Broken up very nicely. This will be, could be the final play of the game. 4th and 10.
Number 16, Jim Bradley passes.
4th and 10 for the 15.
4th down.
Looking at perhaps the final play. In a 49-0 game. Yeah, if I'm Fort Morgan, forget about even taking the field for an offensive play. And this will be a run to the right. And a nice play by the Mustangs defensively. Is that Dahl again? It is.
Nice job.
Number 40.
Excellent play. A loss of about a couple of yards. And let's take it to the parking lot, gentlemen. That looks like it's it. 49-0. Roosevelt has won this game. Fort Morgan might have time for one snap. And that's about it. Let's see the Mustangs snap it. Yeah, they might have time for one play. 30 seconds to go. But I'd take a knee here. Is that where we're going? Yeah. I don't even know where I'm going, Kevin. 18 seconds to go. The Mustangs with the ball at their own 14-yard line. Romero's out there with 10. Clock is down to 7. Are they going to get a playoff? Romero waits the snap. They get it off with 2 seconds to go. And there's a give to Ortega. And he's hit for a 1-yard loss. And that's the game. 49-0. We're getting to the parking lot for the recap of this game. With Roosevelt winning by 7 touchdowns. All the points were scored in the opening half. Again, we're going to keep it right here in Johnstown. We're just trying to get dry at this point. Wow. Wow, it can't get much more difficult than we saw it here. I don't want to get that equipment in the mud. Doing play-by-play of everything, including getting the equipment back in the tundra. All right, let's see if I can even. Yeah, well, I have the keys. 49-0. Okay, we got that. That's a success. And we'll keep it right here. Let's see. Thank you, Brian. And safe travels for Brian Nickel and the crew, because
We'll see you.
thank you, Brian. We'll get in this vehicle right now. We'll fire it up. And whew, you talk about live radio. This is a new one. Inside of a vehicle doing the post game. After Roosevelt defeated Fort Morgan 49-0 post game show, brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Advanced Agri Solutions, our post-game sponsor. Well, Roosevelt scored on their first 6 possessions of the game. They started off with a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bronco Hartson to Tucker Peterson, and this was all under rain that got better and worse in intensity, I should say. Then you had a 55-yard run by Xavier Ramirez, making it 14-0. Later on, Ryan Doucette scored from 12 yards out on the 3rd and goal. It was 21-0. And then Ramirez from 3 yards out, 28-0. Bronco Hartson with a keeper early in the second quarter, 67 yards away, 35-0. Tucker Peterson with a 35-yard pick six, 42-0. And then a 20-yard touchdown pass, 20 yards away to Peterson, 49-0. And Kevin, this was a wash in more ways than one.
Yeah, I don't know really what we can say about this game other than Roosevelt's the #1 team in 3A for a reason. Look to see them make a long, deep run into the playoffs and probably play in Pueblo in November. The Mustangs, on the other hand, they'll get a little bit of a break against Pueblo County next week, and then they got to go against another really good team in Holy Family 2 weeks down the road. So hopefully no one's hurt, no one's dinged up, and they can learn from their experience, get a little bit of experience and build on that. They did get a first down, did hold them several times in the second half to keep them from scoring. So there's some positives, but very few.
For Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel, I'm John Beltran. The final score once again tonight: Roosevelt 49, Fort Morgan nothing, as the Mustangs drop to 0-3. You've been listening to Mustang Football on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.